As the morning light filters through the school windows, a gentle murmur of good morning fills the air. It's a typical start to the day, but there's an unexpected warmth in the atmosphere. One student mutters to herself, "It's hotter than I thought today." She decides to make herself more comfortable, slipping out of her sweater. As she lifts the fabric over her head, another student's gaze catches her movement, and the word erotic pops into their mind, a spontaneous reaction to the unfolding scene. There's a brief moment of surprise, captured in an exclamation. The morning, seemingly mundane, unfolds with a small, unvoiced tension, adding a layer of unspoken complexity to the day. The blending of routine and unexpected warmth creates an intriguing start, setting the tone for what could be an interesting day ahead. In a sunlit classroom, a young man sits casually on a desk, his eyes playfully piercing through the air. Leaning back with an easy confidence, he remarks, "Your shirt's slightly see-through from the sweat. Don't you think it's dangerous?" His words hang provocatively, as if teasing some unseen boundary. Across the room, tension fills the air as two girls exchange concerned glances. One mutters, "Ugh, Ikezawa is so gross," clearly unimpressed by his comment. Her friend chimes in supportively, "He's the worst. Aguchi-san, don't let it bother you." With a nonchalant shrug, he responds, "Why? I'm just complimenting her," his tone dismissive as if bemused by their reaction. The girl's shoulders stiffen slightly, caught in the awkwardness of the moment, as her friend reassures her silently. While the classroom teeters on awkwardness, the boy's confident demeanor remains unwavered, each word leaving a lingering echo in the room. In this scene, we see a character silently observing another in a somewhat unexpected moment of intimacy. The way your nape is completely visible with your hair trimmed, every detail catches their attention. Even though you often get injured playing soccer, your nails are well kept. Their gaze is detailed and thoughtful, fixating on the small aspects. And when you bend down to pick something up, your bosom is so open that it looks like your nipples might show, all of them. The quiet room holds an unspoken tension. Each observation reveals an unexpected tenderness. The viewer is left to wonder about the deeper meaning of these meticulous thoughts, lingering on the edge of admiration and reservation. Such observations suggest a connection through these simple yet revealing insights. The subtlety of the moment invites us into a world of unspoken words and quiet reflections. In a sunlit classroom, a girl with an air of confidence adjusts her glasses, making her presence felt. She declares, "Glasses are really erotic." Her words hang in the air, carrying a surprising weight and causing quite a stir. The focus shifts to two classmates, visibly flustered, their faces flushed with a mixture of embarrassment and intrigue. They sit across the room, arms crossed defensively, as though trying to shield themselves from the unexpected tension that her statement has created. There's an unspoken energy in the room, an awkward yet captivating atmosphere, brought on by her bold proclamation. The silence following her words speaks volumes, leaving everyone introspective, perhaps reevaluating the allure of such a simple accessory. In this curious moment, the mundane transforms into something more, driven by the power of perception and subtle provocation. In this intense moment, we find ourselves in a classroom scene filled with charged emotions. A girl with long dark hair and glasses stands firmly, her expression one of surprise and slight indignation. She looks directly ahead, surrounded by her two friends, who seem to echo her mood with folded arms and skeptical eyes. "Don't look at me with those perverted eyes," she exclaims, her voice ringing with a mix of accusation and defensiveness. The words hang in the air, as the person she's speaking to reacts with shock, beads of sweat forming in response. The girl continues, her earlier compliment seemingly forgotten. Why? I was complimenting you. Her voice now softer, tinged with confusion. There's a noticeable tension, a misunderstanding, that fuels the encounter. As the scene shifts towards its conclusion, we're reminded. The next update of Chapter 2 is tomorrow, leaving us eager to find out what happens next. In a gripping moment, we see the determined young woman struggling, her breath heavy as she reaches upward, whispering, "Oh." Her effort is palpable, and despite the challenge, she manages a small, defiant humph as she presses on, refusing to yield. The tension is real as our perspective shifts to her view from below, underscoring her tenacity. Her hands clutch tightly, persistence etched in her every movement. As we move to the next frame, her labored breathing becomes more audible, captured in her gasping, pant, pant. Her energy seems almost tangible as she stretches upward, her intent clear in those final, fleeting seconds. "Are you doing that on purpose?" she asks, her voice filled with a mix of curiosity and challenge. There's a determination in her eyes and a persistence in her posture. She embodies resilience and resolve. A playful scene unfolds as a young man with a cheeky grin comments on something in front of him. Although it's erotic how those are swaying, he chuckles, clearly teasing. The air is light, yet charged. Surprised, he suddenly realizes something and exclaims with a startled look, while a girl with glasses stands confident and composed. "Are you buttoning all the way up to the top button on purpose?" she asks, her expression a mix of curiosity and accusation. The girl seems unfazed by his antics, and she muses, "When you button all the way up to the top button?" Her words trail off, drawing his attention to her, and she delivers her final verdict. "It's because you were looking at me with perverted eyes." This quick exchange leaves the atmosphere buzzing with a blend of teasing humor and slightly awkward tension between the two, adding a layer to their dynamic. In a quiet, tension-filled moment, a character is caught off guard. "How did you know?" they utter, surprised by the other's perceptive insight. The observer begins their assessment, revealing the strategy behind their counterpart's attire. To avoid showing any gaps, you wore a shirt one size smaller. The motive here was clear: disguise certain features, perhaps to project a more confident, masculine persona. "It emphasizes your Adam's apple more," they continue, "which makes you look more manly." Yet, they point out a flaw in this approach. Instead, it makes your waistline stand out. The tension is palpable as the observer's insightful critique uncovers underlying insecurities, balancing admiration with an honest critique. This scene paints a vivid picture of vulnerability and self-presentation, hinting at deeper character dynamics and the subtle judgments characters face, even in seemingly trivial matters like clothing choices. As we dive into this intense scene, a sudden outburst shatters the calm. "Kya!" echoes through the room, filled with shock and disbelief. The blonde character, clearly overwhelmed, panics, clutching himself tightly as he yells, "Don't touch me!" His emotions are raw, almost tangible, as the tension rises. Standing before him, the girl responds with surprising calmness, "I haven't touched you yet." Her words hang in the air, adding a layer of mystery and intrigue. The protagonist, struck by her calmness, retorts in confusion, "What do you mean by yet?" This exchange leaves viewers on the edge of their seats, eagerly anticipating what's next. As the chapter draws to a close, anticipation builds with a promise. Chapter 3 update is tomorrow. With emotions running high and questions left unanswered, what will happen next in this gripping story? In this manga scene, we see a young man facing his wardrobe, contemplating what to wear. He stands there, shirtless, gazing at a simple t-shirt with a thoughtful expression. He ponders in silence, before decisively thinking, let's wear this. As he checks his reflection in the mirror, he seems caught in contemplation, expressing an unusual concern for his appearance. I'm someone who never cared about anything but my hair when getting ready in the morning. However, the reason I was so troubled over an undershirt is because his thoughts trail off, hinting at something deeper beneath the surface. Later, he greets the morning atmosphere with a casual morning. His expression is calm, yet there's an unspoken depth as he engages with his surroundings. This attention to an otherwise mundane morning routine suggests that an important change or event is stirring within him, affecting even the simplest of choices. In the bustling classroom, our attention is drawn to the person sitting next to him. She exudes a cool, composed aura as she flips through her book, her eyes shielded by glasses that reflect the classroom's fluorescent lights. He observes quietly, noting, even though she's the one with an erotic body, she was looking at me with perverted eyes. The teacher's voice echoes through the room, commanding, return to your seats. I'm taking attendance. As he prepares to settle into his usual spot beside her, a swirl of thoughts dances in his mind, determined to face the day confidently. Well, I'm prepared today, he reassures himself, thinking, so even if she looks at me, I'll be perfectly fine. They exchange silent glances, hers filled with curiosity, a small question mark hanging in the air. He meets her gaze with a calm, anticipating his day ahead in this intricate school setting. As the scene unfolds in the classroom, a teacher stands at the front with a stern look, clipboard in hand. When I call out your names, reply back properly, he instructs firmly, his voice echoing through the room. Students sit in silence, some attentive, others lost in thought. The focus shifts to a girl in the class who reacts with a stunned expression, whispering a confused, eh? Her eyes dart towards the teacher, captivated by something more than his words. Suddenly, the teacher, sensing a deviation, glances her way with a puzzled, huh? His surprise cuts through the tension, drawing attention to her flustered state. A thought crosses her mind, tinged with embarrassment. Don't tell me, are you looking at him with perverted eyes? This inner turmoil adds a layer of complexity and humor to an otherwise routine classroom roll call. As the scene lingers, it captures the subtle blend of youthful confusion and curiosity. In a classroom filled with tension, the focus shifts to an unexpected direction. Towards a guy other than me? Echoes a voice, filled with disbelief and surprise. A teacher stands with an air of stern composure. Rather, don't look at your teacher with indecent eyes, she commands, maintaining her authority. Meanwhile, doubts swirl in the mind of a young man. What's with her? So anyone is fine as long as they are wearing clothes that show their body line? He wonders, perplexed by this newfound attention. He questions himself. What's more, I was also wondering if I should wear that undershirt today. Battling inner insecurities, he reassures himself. Even I have that many muscles. He looks at his reflection with determination, thinking, my body is way better than his. Amidst this whirlwind of thoughts, the room buzzes with silent emotions, creating a vivid scene of youthful uncertainty and the desire to stand out. In the midst of a tense, emotional moment, a young man suddenly clutches his shirt, his face flushed with realization. Wait, what am I even doing? He exclaims, overwhelmed by confusion and self-awareness. The scene shifts to the next morning. As the school buzzes with energy, he thinks to himself with a mix of relief and lingering frustration. Damn it, she completely had me in the palm of her hand. How pathetic. But there's solace in knowing that it's good that she has shifted her perverted eyes to other people. With a sense of newfound freedom, he muses, "Now I can go to school without a care." The morning air seems a little lighter, the anxiety of yesterday replaced with a cautious optimism. Yet beneath his brave front lies a complex swirl of emotions, hinting at a story far from over. As the classroom door slides open with a gentle creak, a young man steps in with a cool demeanor and casually greets, "Morning." His shirt is stylishly open over an undershirt, hinting at a laid-back yet thoughtful approach to the day. Another student, noticing this, greets him warmly and jokes, "Hey, Ikazawa, morning. You have your undershirt today. Isn't it hot?" The first young man pauses for a moment, reflecting on the crisp air of the early hours. His eyes show a hint of surprise as he recalls, "Well, it was a little chilly when I went out this morning." A brief moment of understanding passes between them, underscoring the subtle differences each day can bring. The scene captures the essence of morning routines, where a simple choice in clothing can spark a connection between fellow students, adding warmth to the start of their day. In a bustling classroom, a girl with glasses suddenly feels the intensity of someone's gaze. Her thoughts echo loudly. "Heck yeah, she's looking at me." Meanwhile, a confident plan unfolds. What an easy person. For her to be taken in by my strategy? One can almost sense the smirk forming as he thinks to himself about his undershirt. A playful exchange follows between classmates. "Eh? I was not looking at sensei with perverted eyes." She retorts, clearly caught off guard. His casual response suggests a teasing familiarity. "It's the same as the person you were looking at, with perverted eyes." The air is filled with a mix of embarrassment and humor. In this moment, each character navigates their own perspective, creating a lively dynamic and hinting at deeper interactions beneath the surface of this seemingly ordinary day. Under the bright classroom lights, a girl with long dark hair and glasses leans forward with a mischievous glint in her eye. She says, "I was just looking at him and thinking how it would definitely be erotic if you wore it." Her casual yet enticing remark takes the boy sitting across from her by surprise. His face immediately flushes with embarrassment, beads of sweat forming as he reacts in a panic. "Stop thinking about my erotic looks in your mind," he retorts, clearly flustered by the sudden and unexpected comment. Meanwhile, her thoughts drift, almost teasingly, as she admits, I can't control my imagination." Her expressions reveal a mix of amusement and honesty, leaving him in a pool of embarrassment and misunderstanding. Tensions and playful banter fill the air, with a promise of Chapter 4 update is tomorrow, hanging in the background, adding a sense of anticipation to their intriguing exchange. In the heat of practice, she reminds everyone to make sure you stretch properly. A curious question floats across the field. "Don't you feel hot in that jersey?" He responds thoughtfully, "No, to avoid any risk." Yet beneath these interactions, thoughts are stirring. The sports attire is thin, so I need to be even more careful, he thinks to himself, feeling the weight of scrutiny. Ugh, I knew she'd look at me. A moment of self-consciousness strikes. Her gaze does notice something. As she muses, below? It's a slice of everyday life on the field. where casual conversations and silent thoughts intertwine, creating a tapestry of relatable moments and unspoken concerns. Each character balances their own thoughts, navigating small decisions and social nuances in this shared space. As we dive into this intense scene, a character suddenly skids to a halt, eyes wide, and lets out a gasp. Woohoo! The surprise is palpable as they find themselves on the ground, bewildered and red-faced. In the background, another figure darts into view, clearly agitated and sweating. The tension builds as we're drawn into their frantic energy. The second character's voice breaks through the silence, filled with urgency and perhaps a hint of frustration, calling out with a single, intense word, "You." The confrontation is charged with adrenaline and raw emotion, leaving us on the edge, curious about what led to this moment. This brief encounter captures a snapshot of chaos, conveying a sense of urgency and unexpected interaction. What could have possibly triggered this electrifying scene? We'll have to turn the page to find out. On this lively page, a comical misunderstanding unfolds between two characters. One of them suddenly accuses, "You were looking at my underwear just now." The setting is charged with embarrassment and awkwardness. As the accused stands there, flustered and speechless, they think to themselves, you, stop thinking about it." It's a tense yet humorous moment. The atmosphere quickly shifts as the accuser insists, "I'm sure you're replaying it in your mind. Hey, open your eyes." Their expression is determined, while the accused feels the pressure. Trying to defend themselves, they exclaim, "All right, I understand already." But the accuser isn't convinced and says, "You keep looking at me with perverted eyes over and over again." The page captures a clash of emotions, blending irritation, embarrassment, and a touch of comedy, making it a memorable and entertaining scene in the manga. On this page, we find ourselves in the middle of a chaotic scene as a character exclaims in embarrassment, "Kya!" Attempting to regain some balance, the other says, "Let's call this even." It's a moment filled with awkward realization and surprise. Amidst this commotion, two bystanders are watching curiously. One wonders aloud, "Why are they showing each other their underwear?" Another remarks, "Those are panties, you idiot." In the heat of the moment, someone shouts out, "You id..." And as if to diffuse the situation, a response comes back, "Because I saw your underwear." But there's little time to dwell on mixed signals, because another voice calls out, "Hey, Ikazawa, we're starting the match." This whole episode seems to be a blend of embarrassment and unexpected displays, where actions speak louder than apologies. The question lingers, why are you showing me your panties instead of apologizing? As the school day brings the students to the field, one of them, looking confused, asks, "Which team am I on?" A classmate hands over a jersey with a straightforward, "Your jersey." In an annoyed tone, a nearby student warns, "Geez, stop looking at others' underwear and focus on class." Another student, standing near the goalposts, ponders aloud, "Hey, why am I the goalkeeper?" They reason, "Because if Ikazawa plays up front, there won't be any match at all." Frustration tinges their voice as they mutter, "Crap, my jersey is with her." As they turn away, they sigh, "So annoying." In this lively scene on the soccer field, the tensions of school life blend with the dynamics of team sports, where everyone strives to find their place amidst the chaos. The story unfolds with a mix of humor and the everyday challenges of student interactions. As the scene unfolds, we see a girl gently tugging at the collar of her jacket, a slight blush adorning her cheeks. Her expression is that of quiet shyness, and there's a sweet, almost tender atmosphere in the air. Suddenly, The focus shifts to a boy who stands in front of her, his eyes wide open in surprise. He's blushing too, caught off guard by this moment. "Ikeza kwa?" echoes a voice, capturing the intensity and shock of the situation. The boy's reaction is immediate and uncontrolled, nearly falling backward in surprise. His body language speaks volumes, illustrating a scene filled with unexpected emotions and youthful awkwardness. Finally, the mood shifts as a note at the bottom reminds us, Chapter 5 update is tomorrow. The anticipation builds, leaving us eager to see how this encounter will develop in the upcoming chapter, sure to add more layers to this charming and heartfelt story. As a quiet school corridor stretches before them, one student turns to another with a stern gaze. "Hey," she calls out sharply. "Hurry up and return my jersey." Her demand is straightforward, reflecting the frustration in her eyes. Across from her, standing with a hint of reluctance, the other student responds calmly, "I'll return after washing it." But the request is met with suspicion. "No, that won't do," comes the quick retort, a slight edge in his voice. "I don't know what you will do to my things." This exchange might seem trivial, but beneath the surface lies a deeper tension, a blend of distrust and familiarity. The hallway seems to hold its breath, witnessing a small yet meaningful moment in their relationship, where simple words carry complex emotions. The scene opens with a young girl, her glasses catching the light as she zips up a sporty jacket. Her expression is a mix of surprise and silent defiance as she listens to the boy in front of her. "I never said you could wear it in the first place," he grumbles, seemingly irritated, yet there's a hint of teasing in his voice. "A normal person would deny it immediately," he exclaims, his words rising sharply, filled with mock indignation. "What are you planning to do with someone else's jersey?" he continues, his face visibly flustered. She remains unfazed, simply looking at him with a small question mark forming above her head. Her face is calm, almost questioning his reaction without words. The air is filled with a playful tension, an unspoken understanding between the two. As she gently fiddles with the zipper, the question lingers in the air, inviting us to wonder what happens next. In a bustling school setting, tensions rise between two characters. Confused and frustrated, one exclaims, "Why are you letting me do it?" They are clearly caught in an unexpected situation. With determination, another voice commands, "Hurry up and strip." Nearby, two other students watch with disapproval, labeling the whole scene. "Pervert," one mutters, while the other critiques, "Ugh, Ikezawa is the worst." Amidst the chaos, the protagonist feels cornered. They desperately try to defend themselves. "No, you're wrong. She's the one giving me trouble." In a swift move to escape the awkward predicament, they dash away, shouting back, "Escape!" The pursuer is quick to follow, exclaiming, "Wait, you!" As confusion hangs in the air, they continue to insist, "She's the pervert." The situation is a whirlwind of misunderstandings and comedic chaos, leaving everyone wondering what just happened. As the scene unfolds in a bustling school hallway, a confident girl with glasses races down the corridor, sweat glistening on her determined face. Behind her, a frustrated voice echoes, "Why are you running away?" She ignores it, focused on her own resolve. "There's no way I'll lose to you," she tells herself, her feet pounding against the floor. In a quick cut, the chase is on, with her pursuer pointing out, "I'm in a sports club, and you are in the go-home club." Their competition feels almost playful, yet intense. Eventually, the unmistakable visual of victory is declared. Captured! The two find themselves sitting breathlessly together. The chaser, trying to catch his breath, says, "Geez, look at you running around to keep my jersey. Just what are you planning to do with it? You idiot." A moment of realization passes between them. No, actually, what started as a spirited chase ends with a touch of awkward humor and unspoken camaraderie. In this scene, we see a young woman, beads of sweat on her brow, sitting on the floor, looking slightly flustered. She nervously explains, "I was sweating, so—" Her voice trails off, her embarrassment palpable as she wipes the sweat from her face. The page captures a moment of vulnerability and honesty. Across from her, a young man crouches, understanding and reassuring. "Ah, if it's about sweat, I'm sweating too. Don't worry about it," he offers with a relaxed attitude. His words are comforting, trying to ease the tension, and he smiles, a soft blush on his cheeks, indicating his own self-consciousness. They both share a moment of connection, seemingly trivial but deeply human, acknowledging the naturalness of sweating and the shared experience. In this tense moment, a sudden pull on the shirt catches him off guard, and surprise flashes across his face. He stares wide-eyed, confused by this unexpected action. His thoughts race as he manages to ask, "You, what?" trying to comprehend the unfolding situation. Sweat glistens on his skin, heightening the tension. As the shirt is raised higher, there's a moment of vulnerability, an intimate exposure that leaves him uneasy. The sound of a sniff fills the air, adding an element of curiosity to the scene. What could possibly be the intent behind this peculiar action? This seemingly ordinary moment transforms into something bewildering, as emotions of surprise and confusion swirl in the atmosphere. In a moment of vulnerability and raw emotion, a girl gazes intently, her eyes soft behind her glasses. Her voice, tinged with disbelief, murmurs, "You're lying. There's only a nice scent." It seems she's searching for comfort in something familiar and calming. Nearby, a voice calls out with urgency, "Eguchi-san, hurry and change out before the next class starts." Her mind seems to be pulled back to reality, as she nods in agreement, responding with a soft, "Yeah." A sense of rush and responsibility fills the air. Meanwhile, in a quiet hallway, a student is lost in thought, kneeling on the floor. In this reflective moment, another voice breaks through the silence, a gentle reminder of duty. "Hey, Ikazawa, what are you doing? Get back to the classroom." Amidst these interactions, the lives of these students intertwine, hinting at stories filled with unspoken emotions and shared experiences. In the heat of the moment, the atmosphere is charged. Sweat trickles down his face, his expression a mix of surprise and frustration. "Seriously, what the hell was that?" he exclaims, clearly caught off guard by whatever just transpired. His eyes convey a blend of bewilderment and intensity, as if trying to process the situation. As he stands there, struggling to regain his composure, you can almost feel the rapid beat of his heart, echoing the confusion coursing through his mind. The scene builds anticipation, urging us to wonder what event could evoke such a powerful reaction. Amidst this whirlwind of emotions, we're left on the edge, eagerly waiting for the next turn in the story. Just as suspense hits its peak, we're reminded, Chapter 6 update is tomorrow, promising more answers and revelations. In a typical bustling classroom, we see a teacher instructing a student. "Ikazawa, write a reflection essay on being 5 minutes late before you leave." The student protests with a shocked, "Eh?" Clearly frustrated, his thoughts reveal his exasperation. "Damn it, even though I was late because of her." Meanwhile, his mind flashes back to the girl responsible. She sits quietly, lost in her own world, while he recalls his unresolved issue. "She didn't return my jersey." In a quiet classroom, someone lifts a bag from under a desk, thinking, she forgot to take it back. A sense of responsibility kicks in. Meanwhile, outside, the hallway echoes with quick footsteps. "Geez, don't mess with me," he says, holding the forgotten item. "If you're saying you'd wash before returning it, at least take responsibility." Caught between frustration and duty, he questions himself. No, wait, why am I acting like a mother? Just then, a surprised voice reaches him. "Hey, you forgot your things." She rushes back, catching sight of him. Her eyes widen in realization. Standing in the corridor, he mulls over the situation, deciding, "I guess I'll just take my jersey back." A momentary misstep in communication, a chance encounter. These small, everyday slips weave their complicated stories, adding unexpected twists to a simple school day. In a heated moment, the tension is palpable as a young woman urgently exclaims, "Give it back! It's mine, you know." Her frustration is clear as she leans over, desperately reaching for what's hers. Meanwhile, the young man, caught off guard yet defiant, tightly holds onto the item, sweating slightly. "As if," he retorts, defending himself against her accusations. But there's more beneath the surface. She accuses him, "You're definitely going to sniff it." A hint of disbelief flashes in his eyes as he responds, "Don't put me together with a pervert like you. Once I've reached home, I'll immediately put it in the washing machine." His firm declaration reveals a desire to clear his name and his intentions. Caught in this web of misunderstanding and suspicion, the two wrestle over a single object, their motivations clashing in a humorous yet tense exchange. In this scene, we see the casual chaos of daily life unfold. One character is standing in front of the washing machine, lost in thought, pondering the situation with a jersey in hand. Suddenly, someone else appears, reminding him with a light-hearted reprimand, "If you're going to wash your jersey, put it inside the net." Surprised by this sudden advice, the first character's eyes widen in realization. He stammers, struggling to find the words. "Well, this is, The interaction is almost comical as they continue to run around the house. In a flustered attempt to justify himself, he speeds away, muttering, "I didn't wear the jersey today, so, Despite the small domestic confusion, this moment captures the ordinary yet endearing interactions of everyday life, filled with small surprises and familiar routines. In this scene, we see a character wrestling with his own thoughts, clearly flustered and confused. "Wait, what am I doing?" he wonders aloud, beads of sweat on his forehead as he grapples with the chaos inside his head. His mind races, trying to rationalize his actions. Well, she was sniffing it on her own, he remembers, letting out a frustrated sigh. He can't shake off the feeling of being compared to someone unsavory. "As if I'm the same as that pervert," he exclaims, his voice tinged with anger and disbelief, sitting back, contemplating the situation. The room is cluttered, filled with the reminders of the awkwardness he feels. "It's annoying how I'm the only one who got sniffed," he muses, frustrated but somewhat resigned. As he tries to make sense of it all, he tentatively justifies, "If it's just a little, it should be fine." His inner turmoil reflects vividly, a mix of embarrassment and reluctant acceptance, playing across his features. In a dimly lit room, we find a moment heavy with anticipation. A woman lays back, her expression calm but intense, strands of hair cascading around her face. The zipper of her jacket is slightly open, hinting at vulnerability beneath the composed exterior. Sweat beads on her skin, suggesting heat not just from the temperature, but from the charged atmosphere. The scene shifts, and we see another figure nearby, swallowing hard, overcome with emotion or perhaps internal conflict. Their breath is audible, punctuated by a soft gulp. The silence is thick, only broken by the sound of their tension-filled exhale. In this frozen moment, words seem unnecessary. Yet, from the other, we hear a hesitant, almost inaudible murmur. ... It's as if the weight of the moment itself has taken away their ability to speak. The air is electric, filled with unspoken thoughts and potential actions, leaving us brimming with curiosity about what might happen next. As the scene opens, a tense silence hangs in the air. The grip of a fist, knuckles tense and glistening with perspiration, hints at an unspoken anxiety or determination. Overlapping this tension, the hint of a shared secret moment, two figures lie close. Their intentions unclear, both are enveloped in shadow and quiet intimacy. One figure leans in, the closeness emphasizing a bond, perhaps unspoken words shared in quiet moments. In this closeness, a single word whispers through the stillness. Sniff. This soft sound resonates, hinting at a mix of emotions, an attempt to capture or remember something ephemeral. Together, they illustrate a scene layered with emotion, connection, tension, and an undercurrent of vulnerability. These small moments and gestures speak volumes, tugging at the heart and leaving us pondering their story as the world outside remains indifferent and distant. As the character leans over the bed, an intense moment unfolds. A gentle sway in their movement, they reach down with curiosity, inhaling deeply. "What a sweet scent," they murmur, captivated by the aroma lingering in the air. This intimate scene reveals a mix of intrigue and comfort as they experience something familiar yet enchanting. Their expression suggests a mix of nostalgia and longing, as if the scent evokes memories or emotions not so easily forgotten. The setting is simple, a quiet room, but the focus is solely on this sensory connection. The promise of more to come leaves us eager to see what unfolds next. Remember, the Chapter 7 update is tomorrow, so stay tuned for more of this compelling story. Morning greets the school as two students pause outside a classroom door. One of them leans against the frame, hesitating. "What's wrong, Ikazawa? Not gonna go inside?" he is asked. "No," is the quiet response. Inside the room, a girl sits alone, the atmosphere thick with unspoken tension. The hesitant student thinks, so awkward. He looks uncomfortable, unsure how to approach the situation. "I don't know how to face her," he admits, rubbing his eyes as if trying to shake off the uncertainty. It feels hella awkward. His friend is puzzled by this admission, but tries to be supportive. It can't be helped." This moment captures the delicate balance of teenage emotions, where a simple greeting turns into an awkward pause filled with unease and introspection. The challenge of facing someone after an awkward moment seems to weigh heavily on the young man's mind. In the bustling classroom, a girl sitting quietly at her desk exudes a mysterious aura. The scene starts with a lively exchange as a boy approaches, slightly troubled by his friend's antics. "Hey, what is it? You're making it very difficult to walk," he says, trying to manage his quirky friend. Moving towards his seat, he notices the girl, looking less than thrilled. Another curious friend probes, "Are you in a bad mood today?" but receives a sharp stare in response, forcing him back into his seat. With an air of nonchalance, the girl finally acknowledges the boy. "Morning, Ikazawa-kun." Her voice carries a subtle hint of warmth, contrasting her earlier silence, catching his attention with a small surprise. The interaction leaves a sense of intrigue, as if there's more beneath the surface waiting to unfold. The atmosphere is thick with unspoken emotions and camaraderie. Quiet classroom. A student slumps over his desk, clearly lost in his thoughts. Yeah, he mutters, feeling distant from the world around him. His friend, noticing his mood, nudges him. Hey, you've got a bad attitude. Eguchi-san even greeted you. But his only response is a curt, shut up. Nearby, Eguchi watches with a gentle smile. Ah, no, it's fine, she says, understanding of his strange behavior. His friend tries to explain. Sorry about it. He's acting strange today. As she takes a seat, the boy's thoughts betray him. Now that I'm not looking at her, he reflects, emotions bubbling beneath the surface. This girl, he can't help but feel something inexplicable as he steals a glance. Meanwhile, she's rather pleased. I'm rather happy to get a closer look at the shape of his back, she confesses inwardly, adding to the unspoken tension between them. In this small moment, their unspoken feelings intertwine. In the quiet classroom, a palpable tension lingers in the air. It feels like she's staring more intensely than usual. Her unwavering gaze seems to cut through the silence, filled with an intensity that makes my heart race. Somehow, it's as if I can feel her breath. As she sits there, her presence is almost overwhelming, like a storm just beginning to brew. The subtle movements as she leans closer, the way her hand lightly touches the desk, make every moment feel charged with unspoken words. Meanwhile, he seems to struggle under her gaze, beads of sweat forming on his neck, betraying a mix of curiosity and nervousness. Beneath the surface, there's a connection forming, mysterious yet undeniable, and the air is thick with anticipation. It's a moment where everything is felt, yet nothing is said. In the intimate space of a quiet room, a nervous exchange unfolds. She leans closer, her eyes gentle and observant. Your ears are getting red, she says softly, her words hanging in the air like a soft breeze. His expression shifts, a mix of surprise and embarrassment flickering across his face. He gasps, his shoulders tensing up, caught off guard by her closeness. The vulnerability in the atmosphere is palpable as he processes her comment, heat rising in his cheeks. Suddenly, flustered and defensive, he blurts out, "Why are you coming closer on your own, you idiot?" His voice echoes with a mixture of confusion and bashful frustration, trying to mask his embarrassment. In these moments, the room feels smaller, the distance between their hearts seemingly shrinking. The air is thick with unspoken feelings, each one grappling with their own emotions. As she steps back, the tension lingers, promising more to come. In this captivating moment, our eyes are drawn to a young woman with long dark hair and glasses. Her expression is warm and welcoming as she leans forward slightly, a gentle smile gracing her face. Thank goodness, she says with genuine relief. Our eyes met at last. This simple yet profound connection seems to convey a sense of long-awaited understanding or relief between her and the other character. The scene shifts, and we see the other person's face, eyes wide with surprise or perhaps realization. Their focus is entirely on her, lost in the moment of this shared gaze. The page beautifully captures the essence of a significant encounter, filled with emotion and unspoken communication, leaving us wondering about the journey that led to this meaningful exchange. The classroom hums with the usual morning bustle, as the teacher announces, "I'm taking attendance. Everyone, go back to your seats." The students shuffle to their places, and a sense of routine settles in. A girl, standing quietly, thinks to herself, "She's the one always looking at my body." A flush of self-consciousness colors her thoughts, the silent tension echoing in her mind. Despite the classroom's noise, her internal world is loud. Still, whether our eyes meet or not, she reflects, feeling the weight of unspoken moments. Things like that. As she moves, gripping the edge of her desk, with a mix of resolve and uncertainty, her inner monologue reveals a vulnerability that connects her to a secret gaze, an understanding shared wordlessly across the room. Her reflection on these innocuous interactions hints at deeper feelings, woven into the fabric of everyday high school life. As we dive into this moment, tension lingers in the air. With a hint of vulnerability, our character pulls a sweater up, almost hiding from the world, while watercolor blush streaks across their cheeks. Thoughts race through their mind. Also bothers her. It's a scene filled with emotion, a mixture of embarrassment and contemplation. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifts. "Oh, what are you grinning about?" someone teases, noticing the change. "Did your mood improve?" The inquiry is lighthearted, aiming to ease the tension. Across the page, the energy erupts with playful motion. "Woo, so emotional," echoes through the room, as laughter fills the space, lifting the mood. This is a reminder that even in the most awkward or intense moments, there's room for warmth and laughter. Stay tuned, because the story unfolds further with the promise that the next chapter update is just around the corner, arriving tomorrow. It has finally arrived. The long-awaited day when we change our uniforms. As the sun beats down, students greet each other in the morning bustle. "Morning. Isn't it hot today?" one says, with light-hearted chatter in the air. Another simply responds, "Morning." Meanwhile, gripping onto doubt, our young protagonist feels the heat more than the others. Struggling internally, he wonders, "So I did wear an undershirt just in case. But does wearing it make me seem more conscious and erotic?" Full of apprehension, he imagines a girl he knows thinking to himself, "I know that she's definitely going to look at me in my summer uniform with perverted eyes." Caught in this internal monologue, he suddenly hears a friendly call. "Hey, Ikizawa, morning," breaking his thoughts. The day unfolds under the warm summer sun, filled with typical worries and unique challenges as they all step forward in their crisp, new attire. As the day warms up, they meet on the street, one asking, "Hey, what happened to your undershirt?" Surprised, the other responds, "Eh? I didn't wear it today because it's hot." The conversation pauses, focusing on the unbuttoned shirt, revealing hints of a summer silhouette. What? Is it see-through?" comes the reaction, a mix of curiosity and a touch of self-consciousness. The observer, with a thoughtful gaze, thinks, as expected, it's more erotic without it. The unspoken tension lingers in the air, the heat of the day adding to the slightly awkward but amusing exchange. Each word and glance captures an innocent curiosity, contrasted with unexpected impressions. Amidst the mundane setting, this small moment transforms into an intriguing dynamic, revealing the subtle complexities of youthful interactions. Morning sunlight filters in as a girl approaches, simply saying, "Morning." The boy is caught off guard, surprise evident in his wide eyes. He stammers out a greeting, "Ah, you," but it's interrupted by the tension in the air. There's a sudden commotion. Mohei," one boy exclaims, attempting to push past, while another protests, "Hey, what are you doing?" Amidst the flurry, confusion reigns as someone questions, "What kind of fight are you starting?" A decision is made. "Go ahead, I'll deal with her in the meantime." But amidst all this chaos, he stops, unsure, thinking to himself, "What? Who?" The girl calmly acknowledges him, "Mino-kun, morning." Her tone is serene, contrasting the bustling energy around. Her presence brings a moment of calm, even as his friend awkwardly nudges him, addressing her politely, "Eguchi-san, morning." In this brief encounter, emotions are tangled, a mix of surprise, awkwardness, and a hint of something deeper. As the scene unfolds, tensions rise with a single, provocative question hanging in the air. Who is more erotic? Who is it? A thoughtful woman with glasses appears, seemingly pondering the question deeply. Two young men stand nearby, taken aback. Without any warning, intense scrutiny falls upon them. Maino-kun, one blurts out, drawing sudden attention. Meanwhile, the perceptive young observer realizes a detail others might miss. I wanted to tell him that his bottom button is undone, he internally notes. Confusion swells as awareness shifts. Eh? The woman reacts, likely realizing she's the subject of newfound attention. It's humorously pointed out. In the end, your eyes are going towards the person with more skin exposed. An internal realization dawns as everyone reflects on their actions. The moment hangs heavy in the air, blending humor and introspection, while quietly asking how much appearances and perceptions really affect our judgments. In the bustling hallway, a tense exchange unfolds. Do you want me to look at you with perverted eyes that much? She demands, her eyes locking onto his with defiance as she tugs at his shirt. Flustered, he stumbles over his words. There's no way that's true. A friend in the background can't help but blush from witnessing the charged interaction. She steps back, still feeling heated, and retorts, if you're gonna say that, then you're the one who looks more erotic in that shirt, bursting at the seams. There's a moment of shock as her words hang in the air. He glances away, sweat trickling down his face, caught off guard by her accusation. Their tension is almost palpable, a blend of embarrassment and unwilling attraction. In a world where words can feel like weapons, this encounter leaves them both a little breathless and unsure of what might come next. As the story unfolds, we witness a moment of unexpected tension. One character, with a sudden burst of motion, collides with another, both caught off guard. Amidst this chaotic interaction, the air is filled with a surprised laughter. Khoo! Echoes through the scene, a mix of surprise and embarrassment. The person who made the abrupt move is met with confusion. Why? The other questions, clearly taken aback. The explanation comes with a hint of sheepishness. The size was just right when I wore it at the entrance ceremony. An admission follows as they adjust their shirt, tugging nervously at the fabric. It's just because I've been eating a little too much lately, comes the sheepish confession. A relatable moment of self-consciousness, tangled with humor and surprise, unfolds in this scene, as they all stand, laughter hanging in the air, blending awkwardly with the day's unfolding events. A young woman stands determinedly in front of a school, glancing confidently away, sweat glistening under the sun. I'll return to my original figure soon, she announces, a sense of resolve in her voice echoing her commitment. Nearby, a boy looks taken aback, caught off guard by her declaration. Eh? He blurts out, eyebrows raised in surprise. Suddenly, as she turns to leave, another voice yells, her silhouette retreating in frustration. Hey! Someone tries to stop her, their voice filled with regret. No, wait a minute. I didn't mean it that way. The scene captures a moment of misunderstanding, the air filled with unspoken emotions and intentions. As the young woman walks away, the bustling schoolyard around them serves as a backdrop to this brief yet impactful interaction, leaving behind a hint of drama and a promise of more to unfold. Walking through the hallways, the tension in the air is palpable. Iguchi calls out, but his voice echoes into a sea of indifference. Ignore. It's painted across her expression. her eyes hidden behind large glasses. His awkward attempts at connection seem to fall flat. A voice from behind tries to console him. "Cheer up, Ikesawa." Yet his spirit remains low. A teacher intervenes, urging them. "You guys, hurry and go to your classroom." As Ikesawa drags himself away, frustration clenches his heart. Ugh is all he can muster. Later, outside, he pleads with a sense of desperation. "Sensei, can I leave early today?" But the blame is swiftly returned. "It's your fault," comes the reply, casually deflecting responsibility. Unable to contain his emotions, Ikesawa cries out, "You're a demon," echoing his feelings of exasperation and anger. Beneath all this is a promise. The update for Chapter 9 is next week, starting from the next episode. It will be serialized weekly.